Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 358. Yes, sir. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh shoot. I'll tell you what, it is 5:30 in the morning, and I have never appreciated 5:30 in the morning so much as I've appreciated it this morning.
Yeah?
Because I walked out of my house to the shed and it was cool outside.
Yes, you weren't sweating.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's beautiful out right now.
It's been ridiculous. I haven't been here. I've been out of town. And Jenny said this last week has been nice. Mm-hmm. But this morning, whoa! I would even call it brisk.
Nice.
Yes.
I love that.
Wow. Yes.
I know. Wow, I was right.
Agreed.
It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. I came outside, I was barefoot. I was ready to be walking into a mouth as usual. Is what it feels like.
That's right.
In Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep.
Walk out of your house straight into someone's mouth.
Yep.
But it didn't feel like that at all. And I'm so excited about that. Ed Placencia,
Yes, sir.
how's the weather up there?
You know what? It's exactly the same. I took Batman out to go to the bathroom before we recorded, and I was just like, oh, yes.
Bring on the fall,
So
right?
nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, so good. So good.
When does fall start? It didn't start for a while yet, right?
Not soon
September,
enough.
I think.
Yeah, not soon enough is right. Oh, you say September?
I think so.
Yeah, September.
Officially, anyways.
September 20th or 21st is usually. the
Yeah,
start.
23rd. Is that what it's saying this year?
Man,
Sure.
Yeah, Monday, September 23rd.
September
That's
is
a long
going to
time
be
from
a
now.
good month for games and weather.
That's right.
Yeah, baby. Oh, married to the games and weather and games.
That's right.
What else is going on?
Yeah, it's been a good week. As I mentioned last week, we had a friend in town. One of Sarah's friends was in town, and she left on Monday, and then Sarah left.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Is her name Felicia?
No, but it's the same
Shoot.
sentiment.
Nice.
I love when we have people that we don't have to worry about here at the show.
That's right. Yeah, you just have free range. Just go to town.
Exactly.
Tell us how you really feel, Ed. That's good.
Oh,
I'm just
man,
saying.
That's hilarious.
Yep. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, for sure.
We had the Tapmans.
Bye, Catherine.
Goodbye, Catherine. We had the Tapmans over this weekend. They've been out of town. They're actually they were in Florida and Tennessee for about a month or so.
Oh,
What?
wow.
So yeah, they were going and
Are we on a mission trip?
well, they were actually going off to declare their missions trip that they're going on. They're moving to Spain
Nice.
next year.
What?
That's right.
And
That's right.
So they're kind of doing the obligatory church tour, kind of
Oh,
you know,
kissing babies, shaking hands.
exactly.
Love
yes.
offering, that kind of thing.
Right. So they came over Saturday. It was good to see them again. It had been a month since we had to hang out and play games, and so we just kind of Beat Sabered it up all night and just chatted and hung out again, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Did you get the how are they doing? Have you guys done all the Imagine Dragons songs? Are they loving that?
Yeah, loving it.
That's awesome.
Loving it. Yeah, it's so much fun. And Sarah's friend who was in town, she actually it was fun because she was playing Beat Saber, really liked the Imagine Dragons, but then was also I think, as most people are, pleasantly surprised at how good the songs are that you had never heard of.
Right.
Which is really cool. I mean, it's a great soundtrack. So that was nice. She also tore through Detroit, beginning to
Who
end.
did?
Ooh.
Sarah's friend while she was here, and
Oh, wow.
that was fun to
Stop
watch.
Hogging the PlayStation, Felicia.
Dude,
No wonder. Good riddance.
Now I know why Ed hasn't been streaming.
Exactly.
Dang, Felicia.
Hey, get out.
But it was nice because she unlocked a storyline that I had never seen before.
No way.
In all of my playthroughs, and I've probably watched 4 or 5 people play it online, I was like, I didn't even know that
This
was
existed.
an option for Kara to end in this place.
Oh, cool.
Really?
And just her final, I would say, her situation was completely different from anything I'd ever seen before. And I always thought it was, hey, how did this character end? Did you make it here or not? And it's like, I was over here doing this. It was so crazy. I had no idea I had missed another entire storyline in that story.
No way. He was over there with the kid from AI and Jude Law running around.
That's right.
Teddy bear and
Yeah, exactly. There's 7 different endings in that one ending. You're like, this is not over yet? Right. Well, this is on brand.
So yeah, it actually made me pick up the game again. And last night I spent about an hour just going back through my gameplay and making a kind of seeing what else I could unlock and just starting to kind of piddle around in the game and see where I could get myself. And man, the game is just so freaking deep.
Gosh, I can't wait to finish it off.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, yesterday, a buddy of mine who, I guess not yesterday, it was Wednesday. What day is today? It's 5:30.
Today's Thursday.
That'll be Thursday.
Yes. It's Thursday.
Tuesday, Sarah left for Florida. She's at a Zumba convention down there, and she'll be there all weekend. And then she's going to her brother's in Jacksonville for a few days just to hang out and chill there. So doing the bachelor thing again for a little bit.
Yeah.
Tuesday, a buddy of mine from Pennsylvania, back when I worked at Hershey's Chocolate World doing digital puppeteering.
Yes, I remember that.
The guy who was who kind of taught me all that I learned there. He is taking a road trip out to South Dakota and stopped and stayed the night yesterday and on his way through, and it was really good to see him again, hang out and catch up. And it's kind of cool because I've driven cross country before, and it's kind of like not an American dream, but I think just an American, I'd like to do that someday, where everyone has that, man, I just love to go and like stop in places. And I realized yesterday as I was waiting for him to arrive, it's also kind of cool to be on the other end of that and be like, I get to be one of like the waypoints on his journey.
Yeah, one of the pit stops.
So yeah, it was kind of cool to think of it like that, and it was good to see him again.
You get to be the kicks on Route 66.
Exactly. I could be the Don't Forget Winona.
Nice.
And so
Good job.
he had never played anything VR before. And
Oh, Lord.
we were up till 3:30 in the morning playing Moss.
My
There you
God.
go. Well done.
So when he falls asleep at the wheel today,
Yep, exactly.
Exactly.
it's going to be your fault.
Exactly. So it was a lot
Doggone
of
it.
fun. It was good to catch up with him. And then, yeah, gaming wise, it's pretty much been a little bit of Overwatch. I've been watching the mess out of this new character they have announced this week. And just watching people break him down and explain him. And I can't wait to try him out. I think he's going to be someone like Doomfist, where he's a very technical,
Oh, really?
high skilled character, which means I will not be able to play him at all because I still don't get Doomfist yet.
Yeah. Is he as close combat as Doomfist?
Yeah, he can be.
Oh, wow.
He's pretty. It's pretty impressive, all of the things he can do. I think he's going to be one of those things that when he finally comes to the console, everyone's going to be playing him, and it's going to be, oh, there's a guy. But then once people start figuring him out, it's going to be like, oh no, this guy's
really,
good.
he's going to be tough.
Yeah. So, Sigma. Yeah. So it's really cool. It might actually be. Usually, if we need a tank, I'm always like, I know how to play Orisa. I know how to play Diva. I guess I'll do that. But it might be a situation where I'll be not so frustrated about having to play a tank. So
Wow.
it'll be something fun. And with the 222 coming up, it'll give people a reason to choose a tank rather than a huge queue line for a DPS character. So I'm excited to see
Nice.
what that brings. And Harry Potter Wizards Unite as always.
Yeah.
And, that's the week for me.
Nice. I like it. Tim Router.
Oh, cheers, man.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Chop, chop.
yes. Welcome home.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. Cheerio.
Thank you. We had a lovely time. Nothing's changed. I mean, I'm back to my normal voice. Everything's perfect and right. Like it's been lovely. So thank you.
He's a chimney sweep now.
Right. Exactly. Yes. I was just up at
Nice.
Surrey, so you get a thicker accent up there. So that's okay. Anyway, hi. I missed you guys.
Hi.
Terribly.
Yes, welcome back.
The Wi-Fi was horrible over there. It would have been an absolute nightmare at the hotel.
Well, you know why?
Why is that?
Brexit.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. And
Yeah.
yes,
the,
we did
The
see
EU took their internet
exactly
and went home.
We
Yeah.
did.
Oh, y'all don't want to be part of us? And then they just unplugged it.
We did see quite a few protest signs around Parliament for that. And you know what? It's so funny. The country is super split on that because
I know. Trust me.
It's-
I was there during the voting.
Oh, that's right, you
or
were.
right before the vote. And like just I rode with a husband and wife to like the airport or something like that. And boy, they got into it and they were a house divided and they were literally fighting in front of me. No, but you don't understand. It's this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Wow.
we took we had a chauffeur take us to the Cotswolds because I didn't feel like driving this time. Lauren and I had been to London in 2009 and we rented a car and it's a little nerve wracking. Like I told Lauren like the first 5 minutes, don't talk to me. Let me just figure this out and like get situated and focus on looking right, left, right versus left, right, left and all that stuff. But it was just easier with Piper and everything. It's pretty cool. There's this company that's all they do. Like they do these British tours and they have a chauffeur take you all around. And so we went outside of London in this place called the Cotswolds, which is kind of like a hilly country area outside of London. And it was beautiful. And there's all these little amazing little villages. And we were talking to him about Brexit. And he's just like, I have a friend who is, completely opposite of me. We still get together, we still hang out, but he said that this country's so divided on it. And I'm like, it's weird because I've always thought England to be such like a powerhouse in Europe. The pound has always been good there. Their economy has always been great. And it's usually, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it either. Like we just kept talking about it. And the more we were talking about it, the more I'm like, I don't know which way I would go in this, So it was crazy. But anyway, we had an amazing time in London. We left on Sunday night of last week and basically took an overnight and got in at 10 o'clock in the morning. And Piper did amazing the whole time.
Good. That's awesome.
The jet lag really didn't bother her. She slept on the plane coming over, which was awesome. And then we went to Kensington Palace. We checked into our hotel, dropped our bags off. Our room was ready, freshened up, and then went up to Kensington Palace. And like I said, we did a chauffeur tour and went around. Man, all these amazing little villages. We did the London Eye, which is the big Ferris wheel there. We did the Tower of London. Man, our country is so young compared to England. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
We were standing in churches that were dating back to the 1300s. The Tower of London itself was built in like the 1100s. And I'm like, our country sucks, man. It's so young.
Yeah.
It's so young.
like, and here's America's first IKEA.
Exactly.
You're like, well,
right.
that's not that old.
This house is over 50 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So back in the 1920s, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Prohibition.
But I will say, I tried to send you a postcard by Crow, but they just looked at me funny, by the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
We got that one wrong?
Yeah. This is just a little bit.
I thought I had it right.
It's all good, Chris. It's all
You're
good.
gone for 1 week.
I know, right? I will say,
We don't know anything old anymore.
probably the greatest thing ever was we went to the making of Harry Potter, which is Warner Brothers UK studio that they converted to this big complex called the Making of Harry Potter. It's where they filmed all the films. It's in Leavesden, which is right outside of Watford, I believe, an hour and 20 minutes away from London. The only way we could get tickets, because they were pretty much sold out, is to go through like a bus tour. So we did like this package deal where you get a 4-hour hop on, hop off bus tour experience that you can redeem at any time and during your vacation. And then like you get on a bus at 3, they take you up there, and then you come back at like, you pick up the bus again at 8:30. So we had an initial probably about 3.5 hours up there. And dude, I could have spent all day there. It was
really
unbelievable. You walk in and this huge lobby has this massive dragon in it. And then there's all kinds of like different costumes and kind of stuff that's around. And then you're kind of guided into like this tour area. And it's kind of like, it started kind of like as a pre-show Disney ride kind of a thing. You walk into a theater and you sit down and the cast is there and they're talking about their experience. But here's the cool part. Then the screen lifts up to reveal the great door of the Great Hall. And so you stand up, you walk through, and then somebody like they do like a countdown and they get somebody from the crowd and you open the door and dude, you are in the Great Hall and it is massive.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's expansive. You can still see scaffolding and stuff. And there's, and they would say, no, this is where they put the green screen for the top, for the sky when they did all the CG for that. And you're just like, I almost shed a tear. I'm like, this is amazing. It was
really
so cool. Like they just moved the 2 tables in the middle and you can walk down, but you still see the long tables down. Then they have the standee costumes of Dumbledore and all the different professors up there, including his podium. There's fireplaces and everything. And that's the first part of it that you walk in. And then from there, you basically just go and there's just little mini sets after mini sets as you're walking through. It's this huge kind of a warehouse thing. So like the Leaky Cauldron was there. They had Gryffindor Hall was there. They had the Gryffindor, the boys' bedroom was there where they all slept. And they had a Forbidden Forest and a huge Aragon there. And
that's amazing.
It was honestly, it was incredible. And so you go through this first part and it's kind of fun. They do these little interactive things. So of course we had to do it with Piper. She put on a robe, there's a green screen, she hops on a broom and they do this like little, you're traveling through, Hogwarts and all these other places. So of course we did that, took the pictures and all that fun stuff. And then like in the middle, they have a cafe. So we hadn't eaten anything. So we ate something real quick and we were only halfway through and that was like 2.5 hours in. So it
oh my gosh.
So we were like, all right, we got to eat, and we got to go because we got to get the bus back. So I wish I had way more time, but I mean, you go through, they have a full scale Gringotts, and then they do this amazing animation with the dragon from Gringotts that comes out. And I mean, anything about Harry Potter, they had it, and it was absolutely amazing. And we also had an audio tour with us, so we used it on and off, but they would also have interviews with the producers and directors about what had happened. And early on, it was hilarious. He was saying that because they were so young, they could only work 4 hours at a time. And he said,
"Oh wow!"
And then because then they had to do school, they had to they were all schooled there. And then he said because they weren't experienced actors, like he said he had a heck of a time editing them because they would do a line and then accidentally look at the camera or giggle or smile. And he said like it was kind of a labor of love at the first start. But he said by the time movie 3 came around, like they were nailing their scenes. So he's like, it's like at the one point it's like, yeah, you have to go through this, but at the same time you saw their progression as actors, and so it was really fascinating to hear some of these back end things. But man, if you ever get a chance, please go see it. It was so cool. Of course, we had butterbeer. Of course,
Ooh, that junk is delicious.
Oh my gosh,
right?
It's so good. So man, it was just we had such a great time, and it was awesome.
Good.
And Piper
Good.
we did amazing. She did so well, and I'm just so proud of her. And I'm glad she was able to experience another culture. And we all kept saying we want to go back. So it was great.
Nice.
Other than that, we got
awesome.
back. Yeah, it was great. We got back late Saturday night, and so now it's just getting back in the swing of things. Piper's in camp this week. Man, I listened to the podcast on the way back, and I loved the conversation about the whole hit record Ubisoft update debate. I love that you guys
Is
kind
it
of went
hit
on.
record or hit record? I kept going back. I think I said it both ways.
I think record.
Is it
I
hit
think it's
record?
hit record. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I think I said it wrong numerous times.
yeah,
But I think we also talked about them like they were a record company.
Right.
Yes,
And so I think
yeah,
that
exactly.
probably
True.
Yeah, hit record. But yeah, so just kind of getting back in the swing of things. can we talk about the Witcher trailer real quick? Because I was able to watch that as well. Ooh, I am excited now. Like I am like,
listen to you.
I know, right? At first I'm like, this is gonna suck, man. No way. But dude,
right.
I am very, very interested in how this is gonna play out.
The wig looks better.
Yes. And everything looks better. And so I am really excited for that. And I think that'll be really cool. And speaking of which, on the gaming front, I did get back and play a little bit more Spider-Man. I'm about 70% in. But here's the thing. Hearthstone is back, people. My account was compromised. And so I just, the other day, I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to start over. And I am loving it again. I have missed this game so much, and
really,
I'm just going through and unlocking and unlocking and unlocking, and I did all. And honestly, I think since the last time I first started, which was 5-6 years ago, I do like how they progress you into the game now, because I felt like the first time I'm like, well, I don't know how to, like, they explain things, but you just kind of felt like you didn't have it all. When you go through this whole process as a new player now, I feel like they've really explained everything. They've got everything together. You have to go through like 5 or 6 different little mini battles, and that kind of helps you explain all the different elements to the cards. So it was really good doing that. And so then I just started unlocking all the heroes, and now I have to get all the heroes to level 10 so I can play the arena, and I have to get one of my heroes to up to 20 so I can be in Tavern Brawl. And so, but man, it honestly, like, as much as I'm like, oh, is this going to stink? I'm loving it. It's just, that's been taking over my life now. So it's been pretty cool to get back into Hearthstone. So that and a little bit of Clash Royale, and that's it for me.
With the little bit of internet that you had.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you guys. I'm so sorry. I had to bail because of it. Like the hotel, like I couldn't find. I was as soon as we got there, I'm scouting the hotel, seeing if they had like a conference room or anything, because I brought my mic and everything, and I didn't have one. I got these crappy converters / adapters at Best Buy, and they were supposed to work, and they totally didn't. So luckily, the hotel had extra adapters, so I could use my computer and everything, and we were able to get by fine. But it was the internet that I was worried about, because it would like go for a little bit and then just cut out. I'm like, oh, if I were to try and record, it would be an absolute mess. So I had to bail out. So I missed you terribly, but it's good to be back, and that is it for me.
Chris Kraken.
So things are a lot lighter over here than the London trip.
Nice.
What?
Wait, you didn't go to Harry Potter with me then? Ah, dang it.
I did not go to Harry Potter. Truth be told, I didn't understand half the stuff you're even talking about.
I felt like such a nerd, because I was like, I think you mean Aragog, not Aragorn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Ed.
Chris, I was with you, buddy. I'm like, I've seen all the movies. I've not read any of the books, and I was like, Green Gort.
Green Gort. Eric
Gort.
I was not really following, but I'm really excited and happy for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're able to nerd out about all that stuff.
Thank you.
Exactly.
That's really great. Over
That's
here
really great.
for me, it's just been easy, like light over here. A lot of people, because it's July and people take vacations. My department in particular has been very light on the work side, because a lot of people have been out on vacation or out on doing projects or whatever it is. So people are starting to filter back in this week. So I think today will be the first day that most people are back in the office. There might be 1 or 2 that are still out on a vacation or whatnot. So wrapping up a few projects there, starting to slowly work on pre-production stuff for some new projects coming down the way that we'll be doing somewhere around mid-August. So things will be picking up back here in a little bit.
Kind of with school, huh? I guess like as school starts and everybody gets back, it seems like you guys are ramping as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of at least feels like it ties in that way. Of course, they're totally unrelated kind of things. But
right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as far as timing, people, obviously the powers that be must know, like, all right, everybody's gone in July.
Yeah.
Let's hold this off a little bit.
Well, we start school in 2 weeks. It's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So everybody's,
us too.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's doing their last minute vacations now before school starts, which is so weird.
I will say it's always nice when it's summer because, you get that little break. Because since we moved over here, there's one school zone we have to go through on the way to get to work. And it's always nice when summer hits because it's like, oh, I got a couple of months with at least without that school zone slow down right there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But, and I guess maybe this is a rotating thing. I'm not exactly sure, but the school right down our street is hosting summer school this year. So it's been like nothing's changed. Yeah. And I'm assuming that's the reason I assume that's a rotation kind of thing is because I don't remember it being the case last year. I remember the summer being, just driving the speed limit or whatever. So I'm assuming that's the kind of thing that moves around, which I guess would make sense that in a certain district, just to make things easier on, because you don't know where all the kids are coming from. But
yeah,
I mean, it's not
where
like it's
the
the end of
need
the world
might
or
be.
anything, but it's just like, man, I like that little couple month break of just being able to go.
Yep.
That's how I am, except with my lunch places.
I'm
like,
yeah.
go back to school. Give me back my lunch places. Instead of being full up of kids.
That's so funny.
So as I mentioned the last week, Stacy was going out on a trip and she came back last night, working on this big project that her team and has been working on. It's a really big undertaking. I don't know what all I should or shouldn't am able to talk about really for
Sure.
it, but basically she's one of the main leads on getting the project, executing the project. And so most of it is taken care of. There's still some cleanup things and some punch list kind of things that they're working on, her and her team. Obviously she came back last night, but I've not without being there, I've seen pictures and whatnot. And I know that our CEO was talking at least internally about this project that they've been working on and was just really happy with the progress and gave Stacy a shout out by name.
The CEO?
That's huge.
All right.
Now,
Now,
granted, if she was here, she would very much tell you, like, look, this is a team effort. Our whole team's
we
working
know
really
she'd
hard.
say that. Be
yeah,
quiet,
yeah.
Stacy.
Yeah, and they are, but at the same time, like
Keep it down.
She is absolutely like the glue that just keeps all that stuff going. And I'm just
That's
unbelievably
awesome.
proud of her and the awesome job that she did
That's amazing.
from just a little bit that I've seen. And I'm not even one of the people, that's had the ability to go there and see it in person. I'm sure it's even more amazing when you see it in person kind of thing.
Yeah.
So really excited and happy for her. And then of course she's coming back and then hitting the ground running because she'll have to turn right around and go back out in about mid-August or so for the next trip.
Oh, wow.
right.
So she's got a lot going on and it's probably going to be a little bit stressful for her, but if there's somebody that can handle it, it's her. And as is kind of been the norm throughout our marriage, she was gone on our 9th anniversary.
Nice.
Oh.
No.
It just always kind of falls that way that she's got a project or two going on during the middle of July, or towards the end of July, I guess I should say. So our anniversary was on the 23rd. So happy 9-year anniversary to Stacy.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's right.
I loved seeing those pictures, and I forgot
Yeah.
that you guys, just judging by the pictures, you got married at 11 years old.
That's right. Sure did. Youngins.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Youngins.
it was really weird to get that legal exemption to make sure that it's cool, but
They took the face
Yeah,
app and reversed
Also,
it.
happy 20th birthday, Chris.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, you don't mess with Texas.
Just let them do what they're going to do.
You just let them do what they want,
They
and
do
then
do.
yeah, we'll deal with everything else as it comes.
exactly. Just kind of marching to the beat of our own drum here,
That's
making
right.
things happen.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's
everything's
so funny.
kind of back into place. As far as so I was a bachelor, but I really didn't do like an amazing amount of gaming like you typically would think that I would. Is like, well, I got nothing
Yep.
else to do except hang out with the dog.
Yeah.
I did stream a few times over the weekend.
Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah,
get
you
back
did.
into some Apex stuff. I'm trying to get that all squared away to get a little more regular into it.
Got
There's-
some W's going.
Yeah, I did get a few. I don't know what it is about that game. Like, it's definitely a game that is built. Apex. I don't know if I actually said the name of it.
You did.
That game is definitely built to be a team game. Clearly, as the fact that you can only play it as a team of 3. But I feel like I have as much fun playing with friends, or if I end up solo queuing. Now, definitely solo queuing can be frustrating at times, but I mean,
That's right.
more often than not, I don't know if it's just I'm being lucky or whatnot. I feel like I get teammates that are halfway decent at knowing what they're doing and communicating just using the ping system. Because I rarely go into a game chat to see what's going on. I just rely on the in-game communication because I feel like it's so good that I should be able to do it pretty well with just that. And more often than not, man,
can I ask you a question, Chris?
Yeah.
And I'm probably wrong about this. What other game has had a ping system like that? Because that thing is so good.
There's a few of them now, but I don't think there was another game that had a system like that before.
I don't remember like ever doing that before. Like that you could be like over there, like on purpose. I remember when they started implementing into Call of Duty, when the players would say stuff, like I know in World War II, you know, when you're playing multiplayer, it goes up in the window, but it's not like you could say it on purpose.
Right.
It was just, you know, what the game would do. And this ping system, man, if they've done anything, because, you know, they've said that there's been like a lull in Apex, you know, it came out the gates really hot and then, you know, slowed down considerably. That thing alone, though, is so freaking good.
I mean, that's
goodness.
going to become a standard in games like that, right? That like,
yeah, and hopefully they get their team gets to hold their head up high, like we did that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we
definitely.
created that thing.
Yeah, I know, especially in the whole. I mean, it definitely needs to be a staple in pretty much any battle royale that comes out. I know that Fortnite added something in that was, I don't know if it's quite to the same robustness of what Apex has, but I know they definitely added some type of ping system. I think PUBG added one, and then pretty much any other thing. I think Firestorm, the Battlefield one, had something similar in it in terms of ping system. Again, I think even today, Apex's ping system is still the most robust version of it. Which would make sense since they're the kind of ones who pioneered that direction. But
it's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely. I don't know that it makes sense for like traditional multiplayer type stuff, like 6v6 team deathmatch type things. Even though it'd be fun because there's plenty of times where in like a death or Overwatch, I've
too
been
many
like,
people
man,
saying
I wish I had a ping system here.
Could you imagine though everybody using it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit crazy. I do think there's a couple of other things that they could add that I'm sure that they'll improve down the way. Right now, at the moment, there's no way through the ping system or communication system in any way to say what your alt charge is at or to ask someone else if they have theirs. I mean, typically like in Overwatch, you could say my alt is charging and it'll say what percentage it's at.
Right.
And people know like, okay, when you're saying that, you're trying to communicate your team like, oh, mine's about to be ready. Let's combo or whatever.
That's
like
right.
that. And you just kind of figure that kinds of stuff out. I think Apex could definitely benefit from something similar to that as well.
Yeah.
I got a feeling like that's going to come down the way in some point, but as of
50%
right
until your birthday present.
now, yeah, something like that.
I'm about to make a fence. I don't know what that person's voice sounds like, so that's just a guess.
It sounds exactly like how it should be.
Pretty much it, yeah.
I mean, you were close.
Yeah.
But you got to add a little more French accent.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but you're getting there. But yeah, that's pretty much.
Voulez-vous coucher electric fence?
Avoir you. Right?
What?
Am I right?
Yeah, something like that.
She's the elbow rib, and you're like, I don't get it. Your character's just like, I don't understand, man.
What the heck? Oh,
Isn't that the next
man.
line? I don't know that song.
Voulez-vous coucher
Or
avec moi?
I do know it,
Avec
but
us.
avec. Yeah, you know, I should know because I took 2 years of French. But that shows you how well I learned it.
Oh, my gosh.
But that's it over here on this side.
We're going to have to bleep Chris McCracken on accident.
Right.
I'm just
Accidental French cursing. I love it. That's amazing.
Oh.
Gabriel,
Yes. Hi.
hi. Bonsoir. How are you?
Yeah. Comme ci, comme ça.
Mama posa?
That's I'm out. I'm out of French.
There you go.
I took French as well
Did you really?
because you know, because the ladies
Because of the ladies.
and that didn't work. I forgot what I looked like. You're like just because you're speaking French doesn't cover up all the zits.
Oh,
I was like, oh, okay. Well, I tried.
that's right. Messy.
Also, the wardrobe. There's a lot of things going on in my high school years that didn't help with the ladies, minus the fact that I didn't know French. Been busy over here, man. It feels like
Yeah.
we had, obviously we had golf camp 2 weeks ago, and then something else. It feels like I was gone for, and then I just flew back from LA yesterday. Wednesday.
Nice.
Was doing some pickups for that game.
Oh yeah, that game.
Right.
The Amazon game Crucible. And that's just I feel like I could say that because they put it on Instagram, on Twitter.
Like I'm gonna be as big as possible.
Exactly. I'm always like so touchy with it. And I'm like, oh no, wait, they put it on Twitter. And so what's fun about it is that like as they've been putting things on Twitter, because that's how I learn about things about Crucible as well, is that I think I talked about this, but they hired Winston
Yeah.
from Overwatch.
Yeah, you did
sweet.
mention that.
And Ben Linus from Lost,
Yes.
which I know that's a long time ago. But then there's like some other people in the game too that I think I wasn't giving them their proper due. And man, oh man, I'm in some company, y'all.
Yeah.
And it's I don't like it. I'm just kidding.
Well, you know
I
what,
mean,
Gabe? They're also in some company, so I'm
Yep.
just saying.
of each other. That's right. You're exactly right.
That is, exactly.
I can't wait for us to all meet. And they're like, hi, who are you? And they all know
Exactly.
each other's names.
Just don't start speaking French to him, man. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'll be like, yeah, chop, chop, cheerio. Come back like, yeah. They're like,
chop, cheerio.
yeah, there's like, I don't know if this is right.
That's good
Is
French.
he still going? So that is a very fun thing to do and be a part of, and it's exciting and nerve-wracking and humbling.
How long is that?
And,
Like, how long are you in the studio at a time when you do something like that?
the first 2 times was 2 days for 4 hours each day. Yesterday or 2 days ago, since it was just pickups, it was only like 3 hours or something like that.
And what is it?
But enough to not have a voice afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And
Yeah.
and how are they? Because like you mentioned, you're not a seasoned pro at doing
No.
video games. So how
That's
are
right.
they as far as like they must know, oh, this guy's not, he doesn't have the resume compared to these guys. Are they good at like walking you through things, or did they have to?
Yeah,
or-
they've been very kind and very good with me. The guy that's kind of like, I don't know what you would call him, I guess the director of the whole thing, like the VO director. He's done everything.
Yeah.
And so you'll also see him in the Twitter pictures, so I'm not spoiling anything. His name's Chris Borders. And he's done like, I mean, all the Gears of War and Crackdown, and I mean, video game after video. I mean, he's been doing it for like 20 something years. Like when
Yeah.
they introduced voice over to video games, they're like, we should call Chris. And you're like, why? Like, I don't know. And so he's been just the guy. But because of that, he is so good at like recognizing who I am and where I am.
Right.
And so, but then also extremely encouraging.
Oh, good.
The whole team has been really, it's not like they throw me in there like, go ahead. Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not that at all. You feel very comfortable and definitely like I just can't wait to like, I don't know when the game's coming out or anything like that, but I can't wait to like actually be able to just openly talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like, even sharing this, like there's nothing that I'm sharing that's weird, but it's just like,
Yeah.
it's just so fun and just like, it's nerve wracking, but it's like, I don't know, Ed, I know you feel this way, but like, I don't know how regular people feel about stuff. Like when I say regular people, I mean creative people versus non-creative people. But like when you're in a situation where you have to step up,
Yeah.
that gives me like butterflies.
Oh, yeah.
And I get nervous, but it's like that.
It's
those
excited,
good kind of
nervous.
butterflies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like that each day.
Are you like, because it's a video game, are you a very physical person behind the mic? And if so, were you at first a little tentative about being super physical just because people are looking at you?
I was tentative about everything.
Yeah.
But I'm very animated behind, and that's how I am here at home too, even when I'm doing something that,
Yep.
Doesn't require as much exertion. But, and so, yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know how much video they had taken of me And so they kind of showed me like this like thing that they had put together of a bunch of the voice actors, and I'm on there, and you see me like definitely like flailing.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
That's great,
And you're
though.
like, oh
At least
snap!
you're not
So
like
I
picking
don't-
your nose or anything, so that's perfect.
exactly. So I was just I mean, you know, you go in there and you know in the studio. I think I put it on Instagram. It's at a place called Formosa in Burbank, and you walk in and you see the things on the wall, and you're like, ah, crap. they
This is
they didn't just
legit.
start like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's funny.
And so, you know, obviously you're walking into something where everyone else has done this 300 more times than you.
And that's why I love that you're doing it, because that's how good you were. Like, you know,
man, Edward.
That's not how they were judging it. They didn't judge by a resume. They judged by the performance you gave. And so that's why
Thank
it's like,
God.
kudos, man. That's so cool.
Well, thank you, Edward.
man.
That's very kind. Yes, and it's fun. It's fun being the new guy, but nerve-wracking all at the same time. But as long as you can step up and they don't fire you, you know, one of the things I told him was, I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time I went was like August, last August, the first time. So what was crazy was watching Chris Evans, one of the producers of the game, put up all the pictures of like, you know, other VO talent that's come through, and they'd be like, day 3 or session 3 with such and such, and brought this person back in for session 4. And I was like, huh, maybe I'm fired. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah.
That's their subtle way of saying goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and you haven't seen Gabe back here,
That's right.
so we're not using him anymore.
That's always
And
great
so-
for a creative person's self-confidence that we already struggle with.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly.
Oh man. And so I was like, man, maybe I'm not in this game anymore. Maybe they replaced me. But they hadn't, and I got the voiceover world, as Ed knows, like the turnaround's a little faster than you would expect. And so they call and they're like, so next week, you know, kind of thing. And you're like, oh yeah, let me book a ticket. And so I just remember getting when I got the email to come back out, I was like, whew, all right.
Nice.
Okay, let's go be nervous all over again.
But it's a good nervous, man. I'm sure.
It's a good nervous, but it's nervous nonetheless. It's like, you know, you're I don't know, one bad meal away from full on diarrhea.
Yep.
probably.
You get that little. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna come out right. Yep.
Yeah. I want to pass gas just in case.
That's right. Yeah.
It's got friends. Yeah. And so, anyway, that's gross. Sorry. As far as the gaming front,
Yes.
back to
Gabe's in a game, just saying.
Right.
okay.
That's right.
I because of all the travels, I didn't get to take my my PlayStation anywhere. I had just gotten it off the bus right before we left for, gosh, where did we go? I don't remember. Minnesota? No, South Carolina. I don't remember where we went. I think we went to Minnesota. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I didn't have my PlayStation.
Everyone from Minnesota is like, I can't believe you have us confused with South Carolina.
Well, I was in one. I was in one for sure. Shut up, Ed.
Well, that's good.
I'm having to look it up.
That's
So
not
South
even
Ca-
close.
Oh
I was
shoot!
in one
They're-
for sure.
Yeah. They're gonna be even madder now when I
gosh.
tell you where I actually was.
Florida.
Okay, no. Okay, so wait. Okay, wait. Just to cover my bases, 2 weeks ago, I was in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
Then went to North Carolina for a week at
Okay.
golf camp. Then came home for a day and a half, and then went to the booming metropolis of Monticello, Iowa.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes.
So that's where I was for the Great Jones County Fair.
Yes, you were.
And that's where our guitar player is from, and I think that's why we take that show. Is because it's
The only reason you take that
it's
show?
his
Yes.
hometown.
Yep.
But you know what's funny is that the Great Jones County Fair is in this small town called Monticello, but they actually bring in really big acts. So we were there the night after Hootie and the Blowfish and Chris Stapleton.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I was there twice that week.
All
Street
right.
team.
Street team. Nice.
Long
I went-
brother.
I don't know if there's any relation, but if there is, the Stapleton boys need to get to voice lessons
That's right.
because they're not living out their full,
Yeah.
thing.
Potential.
Oh shoot! All right, so because I didn't have that, I was like, all right, I'm about to be on planes for a long time, and I'm about to be by myself in a hotel room and all this. So what can I like get? And so I looked into getting Octopath Traveler, which is an RPG on the Nintendo Switch. And so I'm probably 5 hours into that.
Oh,
as
nice.
everybody who plays Octopath starts laughing and realizing I have 95 more hours probably to go.
How is it so far?
I'm liking it.
Good.
It's fine. Here's the thing that's weird about it. Because it's a Japanese RPG, JRPG, I just don't appreciate the voice acting in JRPGs.
Yeah.
It's a little over the top for me, and it's a little like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just, yeah. And it doesn't have the, it doesn't have the gritty nature that we're kind of used to from, from things that we play a lot, Spider-Mans and, which are totally different games. And so actually, I really enjoy playing it on mute and then like listening to an album or something. So I listened to the, I don't think it's a whole album, but there's a group called Surfaces. And I would tell everybody to go listen to them. Surfaces. It's awesome. I think their album is called, or maybe it's an EP, but it's called Where the Light Is.
Okay.
Go listen to it. Don't ask any questions. Go listen to it. Surfaces. So good. And then, so I'm listening to this, and because Toby was like, dude, I found this album that I think you would really like. And I listened to it, and then I'm talking to Jenny about it, and she's like, oh, Jeffrey books them. And I'm like, oh, of course he does. And so one of Jenny's other half of Love and Lion, her husband is a booking agent. And he books this group that I fall in love with on the plane yesterday. So shout out to Surfaces.
That's cool.
Nice.
Where the light is.
There you go.
Added.
Where the Light Is. Yeah, it's awesome.
Nice.
Doggone it.
Is
I
it
really liked it.
Is it instrumental? Is it they singers?
Yeah,
Or do they have
it's funny.
band?
The first song is an instrumental.
Okay.
But they are I would call them a group. It's a duo. There's two guys.
I see.
But it's really musical, which is really cool. It's really throwback-ish, which is cool because they're really young. And so it's cool seeing young kids kind of enjoy that kind of thing and then be able to make it in a way that feels like, oh, you guys actually for real listen to that stuff. It's not like you're just faking it because it was the cool thing to do. So they look to me totally different than they sound, which I think is always fun.
Yep.
And so when you see them, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? But listening to the music is really cool. I really enjoyed it. I listened to the album twice actually yesterday on the plane.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And then the big news for me, besides being able, obviously, to be a voice in a video game, is that the Stancils are coming to town.
So jealous.
Wow.
Yep, be jealous. They're kind of just swinging through, so it's not. I don't know how much hang time we'll actually get, but Stancil's family, his family and his wife's family are from this side of the states. I think she's from the Carolinas, I think North Carolina or something like that. And so they went and saw her family, and then they made their way into Tennessee to see his family, and then they always usually fly out of Nashville. So we're seeing them as they fly out of Nashville. And so hopefully
cool.
we get a couple minutes in there, but be excited to see them really quick before they head out. And I think that's it. Yeah, I'm out.
Nice.
Nice.
Router,
Yes.
you got it.
We.
We. Well, let's do it!
All right. New releases this week. The Division 2 Episode 1 DC Outskirts Expeditions DLC is out for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. GTA Online Casino update. That can't go wrong at all, can it? For PC, PS4, and Xbox
That thing
One.
looks crazy. Like, just what they do with that game is insane.
It's absolutely amazingly ridiculous.
I mean, they're still releasing like how old is that game? And they're still pumping out new content for that.
And it looks good.
Yeah.
That's the other
right,
thing. Like usually,
super clean. Yeah.
Usually when something's what you would think built on old tech, it would look a little like aged, but not this game.
Nope.
It still looks good, man. It makes me want to do it, even though I'm not gonna.
Right.
It's like I want to do that.
Yeah, when I've
Everybody
seen
looks
like
they have
ads,
so much fun.
Exactly. You see ads for that, you're like, man, no, I'm not gonna play that. But man, it looks good. I don't think I'm gonna play it. We'll see. Songbird Symphony for the PC, PS4, and Switch. Fire Emblem 3 Houses for the Switch. Kill La Kill for the PS4 and Switch. Remothered Tormented Fathers for the Switch.
What?
What?
I'll say it again.
Is that like dads that have to move back into their mom's house?
Exactly. Remothered tormented fathers.
Yeah.
So
Hey, listen, I'm between jobs right now. Listen, I'm to fall apart home times. My mom's there. She needs help anyway around the house.
oh jeez. Right?
She don't get around like she used to, so I'm over there taking care of mama.
Ugh.
Like, no, you're being remothered.
You are definitely being remothered. Tetsumo Party for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Wolfenstein Cyber Pilot VR for the PC, VR, and PSVR. And Wolfenstein Youngblood for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That all comes out this week. That's it for me. Back to you.
That was the other one I was thinking about getting before I got Octopath was Wolfenstein 2 because it was on.
Oh, yeah,
Switch.
that's
You
right.
enjoyed that, right, Edward?
I did, yes.
Chris and Christopher, what do you got, bruv?
So, as Ed had kind of touched on earlier during his update, there is a new character being released in Overwatch. He's currently on the PTR. Have they said specifically when he's actually going to drop for all platforms, Ed?
They haven't said. People are surmising mid-August.
Okay. All right. So his name is Sigma. He is a tank, and he uses gravity technology to deal damage and to create barriers. Lore-wise, if you were to watch the little animated short where they kind of explained or kind of gave a little bit of information about him, his own dangerous experiments kind of gave him serious psychological damage. And he ended up being kind of recruited, if you will, by the terrorist organization in the game, which is called Talon. And basically, they just use him and all of his different powers and stuff to do all their evil and evil deeds. Yeah, to be bad. Of all the things though that kind of come out about the man, at least in his default skin, because if we know Overwatch, there's going to be other skins that come. He doesn't wear shoes,
Right?
Yeah.
and people are freaking out about him not wearing shoes.
So
Now,
weird.
a little more specifically with him, so he actually floats. He never touches the ground, so that's kind of something to keep in mind. He's actually, I think Jeff Kaplan had mentioned that, like when you put him up side by side, he's actually a little bit taller than Reinhardt, which I think Reinhardt is the tallest character in the game.
Right.
Oh wow.
Again, but from the hover,
really?
he's got like a foot or 2 feet
Exactly.
below him where he's hovering over the ground. So he has no footstep sounds or anything like that. So to me, while yes, him not having shoes when you first see it is kind of like, oh yeah, dude doesn't have shoes. But at the same time, like he hovers and like, I don't know. I never really thought twice about it. But then a lot of other people have really thought about it, including some people in our own Discord have thought about it and been like, it's weird, man. It's weird. And it's like, my whole contention was, look, of all the things in this crazy Overwatch world,
Right,
to think that is
exactly.
weird,
Right.
Yeah.
some homeboy not having some shoes really isn't that big of a deal.
Well,
Exactly.
what you're selling it short a little bit.
Okay.
It's not that he doesn't have shoes. It's that his toes are out.
What's wrong with that? That's how you don't
As
have
opposed
shoes.
So does Winston.
So he should just be having, toe shoes?
I'm just
where the rest
No.
of his foot's exposed, and that'd be cool.
well, so I'm not somebody to have like I'm not gonna say things about things like this, but I will say when I first saw his picture, the first thing I noticed was that he didn't have shoes on.
Really?
But I think well, it's not that he doesn't have shoes, but like that his toes are out, like that his whole foot's out. So what I mean by that is like doesn't one of them have like sandals on or something like that? Like there's a couple heroes that don't have shoes on. Like Winston doesn't have shoes on, and
Right.
Doomfist doesn't have shoes on. But like Doomfist is also like half naked, and so you know, but something about the floating and his feet dangling, I think, is what caught people so off guard. Maybe
That's funny.
is he also the oldest? I think he's the oldest hero so far. As far
I
as
mean,
we
just
know.
from looks, you would think that he.
Yeah, probably
possibly
him or
is, but I
Reinhardt.
don't- Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if they've lore wise said that or
Yeah.
not.
He's 62 lore wise.
Oh, wow.
Reinhardt is 61,
Oh, okay.
and then Anna is 60.
Interesting. I just thought it was funny that people were like, "Why would you not wear shoes in combat?" And I was like, "Junkrat's not wearing a shirt, and most of them don't have a helmet on."
Yeah,
And Junkrat's hair's on fire. I know. And doesn't seem to
Touche.
be bothering him very much.
Exactly.
But I will say, so they're one of the Blizzard character artist who kind of drew up the designs for this character was giving a little bit of feedback. And he said, because as you can imagine, a lot of people were asking questions. He said, "Look, we decided to keep the feet bare to sell the asylum look a bit more. Many institutions, patients are not allowed to have shoes because they might cause harm with the laces. While Sigma isn't necessarily in danger of that, we felt that having no shoes helped draw that connection. He also had iterations of him with shoes on before he actually released, this final version that they're showing now. But they said that it made him look a lot more generic, so they decided to
Nice.
remove them and go back to having them off. They said clearly we're going to have other skins for the game or for the character in the future, and more than likely, at least a handful of those will have him wearing shoes of some sort.
That's so funny.
you know what's funny? I almost didn't like that.
That he's going to have
Honestly.
shoes.
Yeah, I was
I know,
almost
leave
kind of
it.
like,
You're either going to do it
I
or
mean,
not.
like, yes, I noticed it, but like, it felt like a stick by your guns thing. Like, hopefully, you're not doing it just because people are weirded out by it.
Right, right.
No, I don't think that they would. I mean, I don't think that's why.
You're saying some of the skins would have had shoes anyway,
Right.
Just because some are
That's
going to be
how I-
silly, some
Yeah.
are going to be
Exactly.
One
yeah,
of those
exactly.
One of those skins is going to have those like toe shoes, the ones that runners wear.
Yeah, I hope so.
We all look
Yeah.
creepy little toe shoes. That'd be awesome. Stick it to
I
him,
hope
man.
they do make
Stick
an
it.
outfit where only his toes are covered and the rest of his
Yeah.
feet are bare.
his ankles are out.
Or the exact opposite, where like his feet are covered and then all of these, it's like little like cut off gloves, except for your toes.
Yeah, I think people are weird about toes,
Yeah.
just in general.
But his explanation makes sense. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That makes total sense. Great.
See,
Can
I'm
we move
hoping
on?
they go in full force with the whole, toes hanging out thing. I hope they give him like really long toenails and
Like,
Oh,
are his toes pointed? Like when he moves, are his toes pointed like he's levitating and
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Are they
they're kind of like
pointed
just
down?
dangling down.
They're just dangling.
Oh,
I think
okay,
that's
yeah.
what got people. Like if he was running around, maybe I think it wouldn't have affected people as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're just like hanging there, and I haven't seen him moving around.
Yeah, I gotta watch this.
So I don't know what the like, if they're like stiff or if it's like if you change direction, they're like, whoa, okay, we're going this way. Whoa, okay, we're
I
going
think
this way.
like the faster he goes, they kind of like flutter. The toes flutter.
Yeah, they individually spread out and
Exactly.
like kind of like a
Stop
fan.
it.
Oh,
Just
that's awesome.
Oh my gosh. That is funny. It's funny going through all these ages. There's a lot of different ages
Yeah.
that I would have gotten wrong. Now that I'm clicking around to see who was the oldest, I didn't understand that Winston was so young. I think he's only in his 20s.
Oh,
or something
wow.
crazy like that. 29. But maybe that's ape age.
They had a stream with Siegel where Jeff Kaplan was, Siegel was taking Sigma for a spin, and Jeff Kaplan was sitting beside him and just answering question after question. And Jeff pointed
that's
out,
cool.
look at that, he doesn't even have any shoes on. And Siegel then did the third person view and was like, oh my gosh, why doesn't he have shoes? And Jeff Kaplan just said, I think the bigger question is, why does Zenyatta?
Well, yeah, sure.
That's funny. Yeah, especially sitting the way he does, right? That's funny. That is the bigger question. I don't think Wrecking Ball's got shoes on when he hops out of his little
Oh, no, yeah,
thing,
that's right, he doesn't.
right?
No.
But he's also a hamster.
But he's also, Sigma is probably the only humanoid character that doesn't have shoes. Or no,
Yeah,
you said
Doomfist.
Doomfist, right?
Yeah, Doomfist doesn't have shoes on. But it makes sense with his whole aesthetic.
Right.
Where like Sigma looks like they forgot.
Right.
But then like that's why they need the explanation, because from neck, you know what I'm saying, to ankle, he's like a huge, like very armored. And then his feet are dangling.
Yeah.
We've talked about the last couple weeks, this Joy-Con issue.
Yep.
And we've talked about the drift and how I've got it going on one of my Joy-Cons and the problems that might arise when it comes to the new light switch because you can't take the Joy-Cons off. So if the Joy-Con starts acting up, you have to send the whole thing in. And I think one of the things we didn't touch on, which I think is important, is that Joy-Cons are freaking expensive. Number one.
Are they really?
So, yeah, they're $80.
You can only buy them in a set of 2, right?
Yeah, you can only buy them in pairs, I think. Yeah, I've never seen like just a left Joy-Con for sale, but which is the one that people would be replacing the most. And so, you know, that's expensive just when you think of a controller. $80. And yes, there's a lot of stuff in there, the IR, the HD rumble, obviously the motion sensor. So there's a company, I'm not going to get this guy's name right. Chimicals?
Chim Chimney, Chim Chimney, Chim
Yeah, Chim Chiree. That's definitely not how you say that. But
Lovely.
Chimicals, Schwartz, Kreiner, and Donaldson Smith has filed a law firm has filed a class action lawsuit against Nintendo. And I don't know if people do this for actually to go somewhere, or is it just to draw more attention to it? But the whole thing is about the Joy-Con drift, alleging that Nintendo knew that they have this issue and are still charging people to fix it and how that's not right. And I'm not saying that Nintendo did this in response to the lawsuit, but they did issue a what you call it, a memo. Sorry, I don't work in
a statement
in corporate world. Yes, no, it wasn't a statement.
Press
but it was
release.
like an internal something.
A memo?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks. That kind of alluded to the fact that customer service agents need not push when it comes to questioning about people wanting to send in their Joy-Cons for repair.
Oh, really?
Because when you call Nintendo, they, like, I had my one of the kids' 2DSs was acting up. And I was like, man, I haven't even had this thing 6 months. Let me send it in. And they definitely like kind of put you through the ringer on the phone. Well, is it this? Is it
Right.
that? Because if not, we're not going to fix it. And I was like, yeah, no, it's not that. I sent it in. And they were like, it's not our fault. And they sent it back and didn't fix it. And so it left it up to me to like get in there with a screwdriver and try to fix it myself, which I did. Thank you very much. and so now it's working. But they will no longer be charging customers to send in these Joy-Cons and get repaired, and they won't be really pushing them as far as, is it actually broken? Oh, let me see. And so I'm reading this on Vice.com, and they had one of their guys call to see if they can get his fixed. And they run him through the regular thing of like, did you update the firmware? Did you do this? Did you do that? And he's like, yes. And then they like get off the phone, and then obviously it's not fixed, which updating the firmware has barely ever fixed anything ever for anyone, but anywhere. But on the second call, they called back and they said, you know what? Yeah, send it in. And so they're going to take care of it. Shipping, they give you a shipping label. Same thing that happened when I sent my 2DS in. They give you a shipping label, so it's not even on you to ship it to them. And they don't ask about warranty, and they just let you send it in and fix it and send it back, kind of like they did with the left Joy-Con early on when they when the left Joy-Con was desyncing and they were just adding that little spongy piece inside. So I think they're kind of going by the same way, and I'm glad Nintendo is doing this. It just sucks that they're having to do this. So we'll see. I don't know if that makes anybody feel more like getting the light switch or still perturbed. I know, Chris, you were talking about maybe picking it up.
It makes me more nervous about it. Like, I was already going to wait until it came out anyways, just because I wanted to see what people's thoughts were and all that kinds of things. I just know that down the road, if I decide that I want a handheld again, that it feels like that's the only one that makes sense for me.
Yeah.
So that would be the one that I would absolutely lean towards. But I was never going to get it be like a day one pre-order kind of guy. But now, again, because I didn't know that this whole left Joy-Con drift thing was such a prominent issue.
Yeah.
Now I'm definitely gonna be waiting like months after it comes out to see like, okay, does this a problem that creeps up for these things? Because it's, while it would be absolutely a hassle to send in your left Joy-Con to get it fixed, you still have the main system there. And if you have a Pro Controller, like you have other avenues to play a thing. But if you have
That's right.
the light switch, like you're sending the whole thing and it's just gone. So
That's right. You just have to wait.
Yeah.
And they are fairly fast, if I can say so,
Really?
for a big company like that. Like when you send it in, it's not like 6 weeks and you get your thing back. Not in what I've seen. And so,
Not in
good on them for one.
We're not going to do this.
yeah, that's exactly, yeah. But also, I want to say good on them because I feel like you got to make things like this right.
Oh, yeah.
But then not good on you. Come on, man, you've been doing controllers for forever. This shouldn't be an issue.
It's
It should
just
be a
funny
non-issue.
that something like that wouldn't come up in any kind of play testing, or if it did, the fact that they would just, it's just funny that it was a problem. Like you were saying, considering this isn't their first time they've ever come out with anything, so it's just, it was just curious to me that it was a thing at all.
I know, it's weird. And the fact that it's just been, I haven't seen it, and maybe other people have experienced this, that it's only the left one.
Yeah.
I've not seen a video anywhere where it's the right one doing it. For me, it's the left one. The left one is always giving problem. That was the one that was desyncing. And so you're like, what is going on in that left Joy-Con? Like, that's making that one have the problems. Because that one's not even the one with the the IR thing in it. Because one side has a little IR beam thing.
Oh, okay. Right.
And it's not even the one with that. And so you're like, why is that one act up so bad? So I don't know. I'm mad at him about it. Quickly, I wanted to touch on the fact that EA Access is coming to the PS4. It's finally live on PlayStation. Again, not interested.
Yeah.
But I thought, but I saw something that was interesting to me, is the fact that the games are different for PS4 and Xbox One.
Are they really?
Yeah, so when you go to EA Access, like their little website, you have all games. Then you have, which just lists everything that they've put in the vault. Then they have PlayStation only, and then they have Xbox One only. And when you click on PlayStation 4 only, it's 2 pages worth of games. You click on Xbox, and it's 5 pages worth of games.
Wow.
And so right now at launch, like for the PlayStation, you don't get Madden and
What?
I know, or Unravel 2. You get Unravel 1 and you get like UFC and some other games, but like there's 3 pages worth of games that aren't on the PlayStation yet. And I'm like,
I don't understand
like,
that.
yeah, so I don't know if it's just like it's gonna take a second or what. And it's not like, when I say PS4 only, it's not like there's different games it's not like you click on Xbox only and that's a whole different list of games than the PlayStation one.
Right.
Like there's games on both lists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was just interested to see that it's launching with very few games in comparison. That seems troublesome.
Yeah,
It's not as easy to save as .ps4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these games are on PS4 already.
Right, that's right. I know. That's so weird. It's got to be a streaming issue or something. I don't know.
Considering how long it took them to even get EA Access over there, it's weird that it finally arrives and it's not everything.
Yeah, it's not stout,
Right.
and it's the same price. You're like, well, why would I pay the same price as Xbox people for half the games?
Yeah.
That's
Weird.
bizarre.
Chris, you know what? Any idea why they would have done that?
No, but another thing that's I've thought was strange as well is they also have on PC, they have Origin Access, or it may not be called Access, but it's the same service, but it's called Origin because that's their PC launcher. And it's got way more games than EA Access does, even the Xbox side.
Really? Even for games that were on Xbox?
Yeah. So I always thought we were just like, why is the PC and the Xbox one different? Like, why, if it's a service that's supposed to give you access to all this stuff, why would they not mirror each other? Unless there's a game that, that was only a PC version. That wouldn't make sense to me.
Right.
Well, of course, that would make total sense.
But, I mean, there's not that many games that are PC only. So
That is weird.
This is just another question mark to add into the whole thing. Like, okay, why are they all different? They're all the same thing in a way, but they're all different.
Yeah. Yeah. And so hopefully it's just because it's just coming out and they're like, we're rolling the rest out. We just weren't there yet. You know what I mean?
But what doesn't make sense about that is because EA Access isn't even a streaming service. Like, you just download it, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
So if the game already exists and you can purchase it for PlayStation 4, like, the game's there and you can probably buy it on the digital storefront. So why would it not be in this digital vault?
That makes as much sense to me as if I would open the Netflix app on PlayStation and it's like, hey, sorry, over here you can't watch comedians in cars getting coffee.
Right.
Right.
That's the exact same thing. That's
You only watch that on Mac.
Right. I don't. That's just so.
And not the new Macs, the old Macs.
Yeah. If someone has an insight to that, more than my brain can understand, please let me know, because I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
Do you think they'll roll it out though over time? Like,
they've got to. There's no way they keep Madden off the PS4
right.
Exactly.
in that way. There's just no way. There's no way.
There's got to be something buggy going on. That's the only thing I can think of. And they just decided, all right, let's just launch it anyway. There's enough
Must
games.
be. It was interesting sitting around. I got to talk with two of the guys, Chris and Jeff, that were there with me at that both work at Amazon, and they both have like storied careers in gaming. One, Jeff is like, he's like a storied guy in D&D, like a really big deal. And so it was interesting hearing them talk about how last minute things can get.
Yeah.
And he talked about, I don't remember what game it was, but he was saying that they rolled it out without the final boss being in there.
Really?
And they were like,
wow.
They were racing against the players getting there so they could implement it before players actually got to it.
Wow.
And I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
That's amazing.
That's last minute.
Yeah. And so, there's got to be some things where they're like, man, just flip the switch and put it on and we'll get it out there.
Yeah.
As it comes. So, Eduardo.
Yes, sir.
What you got for us, brother?
Well, over on the YouTube channel, we have a couple of new Borderlands 2 episodes. Parts 5 and 6 are up there. And we also have a couple new reviews over on iTunes.
Ooh, a couple?
A couple.
Like more than one?
More than one.
Oh, snap.
It's usually a couple. But carry on.
Yeah,
It's only
since
one,
you've been
but it's-
speaking the Queen's English for a week.
That's right. Exactly. I come back, I'm all
Yeah.
correcting your grammar.
Tim's putting all these extra U's in words and everything.
Aragorg. I hear you, Ed. Aragorg.
Let's see. Here's one by Sam G 1990, and the topic is best podcast family, period.
Ooh, that's true.
That's it. That's all he needs to say.
I know, right? He writes, each week my son and I wait for your episodes to drop to hear all about your kids, wives, and 9-to-5s. I've answered questions of the week, and my son Kellen loses his mind when he hears you say my name.
Oh,
Also, getting to talk to Ed in his stream after listening makes things even better. If I could give more than 5 stars to this family and community, you better believe I would. Keep up the amazing work. Your buddy, L_Omega_L. And then he writes in parentheses, Gabe, those are L's.
they are L's. They're not I's. Yes.
Nice.
Thank you
for that review.
That's amazing. Thank you.
That's
And
amazing. 10 out of 5.
10 out of 5.
Yep.
I like it.
10 out of 5.
Fractions. Here's one by Nick Huntress with the topic, a new reason I look forward to every Friday.
Ooh.
He says, love the guys on MTTG. I got a new job last year with a new 45-minute commute and happened upon Gabe on another podcast, Dad Tired.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I've
There
been
you go.
following ever since.
Heyo.
It was instantly relatable, funny, and makes my commutes now something I look forward to. Thanks, guys, for what you do every week. Love the genuine passion for games, wives, and 9-to-5s. From another tired married guy trying to find some time to game after the
Yes,
kids head
sir.
to bed. See
Well
you
done.
on Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah, Nick.
Love that.
He's a new Overwatcher, so it's been fun kind of seeing him hop in games every now and then. And yeah, thank you for those reviews. That's
Yeah,
so
that's
cool.
awesome. And shout out to Jared from Dad Tired for having me on there.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Man, how cool is that? Thank you,
Very
guys.
cool. Yes.
Oh, those don't get old.
No,
Nope.
it's very
Ever.
flattering.
Waiting for it to happen. It's not going to happen, I don't think. Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different, but a little different. We said, let's see those gaming shirts.
Yeah.
There was actually no question mark in the game of the week. I mean, the question of the week this week. We've got Brendan Myers over on Twitter. He said, this one is my favorite because it involves my two favorite people who talk about video games and are really good friends. And he showed the You, Me, Ed Capri t-shirt.
Come on,
Shout out to Sean Capri.
Canada handsome.
Canada
and Nintendo gurus. We've got Fetty Bringers. He says, with pleasure. And he's got his Shadowbringers Final Fantasy 14 online shirt representing.
Nice.
Love it. Love it. Joyce, I'm going to say Neves. At Cyclonic Rage. Ooh,
Ooh, hello.
gracious. Yeah, settle down
Choice.
there. He's got the Eat, Sleep, and Game shirt, which, of course. You know what's
Nice.
interesting? This is how you know, and maybe I'm wrong about this. You guys call me out. Besides the original Nintendo controller, it seems like the other controller that has cracked pop culture's brains is the DualShock. Like, it feels like anytime I see like somebody just using a controller
Oh yeah,
as art, it's usually the DualShock controller.
Yep.
Even though the Xbox controller was more popular last generation.
So those offset joystick, the offset sticks.
Yeah,
man.
it's just not
Why
as-
throws people off.
Not as sexy in art.
That's
Right.
right.
I got
Like
you.
you drew that crooked.
Like the human body, artists like symmetry.
Yes.
Yeah. You mean
Well
like
played.
you mean like God.
Exactly.
Yep.
And while you're at it, even though you can't tell from just a drawing or an illustration, I'm telling you, every one of those controllers, they play inverted.
Oh, you think so, do you?
I know
Okay.
it.
All right. Okay.
Nice.
I didn't
like
even
that, Chris.
notice the joysticks were offset until someone told me.
Had you
I'm
never
right-
held one?
I'm with you, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It doesn't
Really?
feel any. Yeah, it's really.
It doesn't
weird.
feel any different that your left hand is higher?
no different at all.
I don't know about no different at all. I can understand that it didn't bother you or you didn't notice, but
No,
it's definitely different.
I don't feel
Ed,
a
you're-
difference
I'm with
at
you.
all.
I didn't notice it when I first fired it up
Where's my Xbox?
20,000 years ago.
And
That,
it's weird to me that I don't notice it, or that there is no difference, because you should
Yeah.
feel a difference.
You
Man,
think,
like
yeah.
I have my hands on, I'm holding my Xbox controller now, and like, yes, your hands don't go anywhere different, but the thumbs.
Yeah.
Thumbs just goes up.
Now,
get it.
it doesn't affect play, I don't think, honestly.
No.
No.
But it's different. We got Greg Legowski. Legowski.
Always watching. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Over
one in stereo.
over on Facebook. He's got the evolution where it's like monkey to man, and then the man standing at an arcade cabinet.
Oh,
Love that.
nice.
And then he's got a Sega Dreamcast shirt.
Ooh.
Ooh, man. I'd wear that out. Lord have mercy. And I'd wear it out to my wife's chagrin.
Yeah, you would.
Herman Scott has got the old Final Fantasy VI with all the sprites on there. I like that little 4x4 action with the
Nice.
sprites. And Bill Gardner II.
Ooh.
He's got Link and Harley Quinn and like a stormtrooper and Batman doing like, it says Le Tour de Greek. De Geek. Le Tour
Nice.
de Geek, like Le Tour de
Nice.
France, except it's for geeks. And so it's got Harley Quinn, and you see some like Mario shells in there. They're all on bikes. They're all riding bikes.
Nice.
Link
Oh,
and
that's
those guys.
funny.
Yeah, that's a fun shirt. Curtis McCoy II. We got another the second. Lord of mercy. What's going on with these
A lot of
dads?
sequels.
Yeah, a lot of dads feeling themselves. I got a great name. Pass that down.
No pressure on you, son.
Yeah, exactly. He's repping his Xbox shirt. He went and saw, it looks like the Lion King. Took a picture with his lady.
That's a
Sitting there in
nice
his
looking
Xbox
shirt, by the way.
I like that shirt. Mm-hmm. That's a good looking shirt for sure. Good looking couple as well. Sorry, we're not saying anything about that. Tara Jacked, it said it was a little difficult to choose, but I'll go with my Spartan shirt. This thing is unreasonably comfortable.
Nice.
I like that. I can't tell what shirt that is. Huh. I don't know what that is. Sorry. And then I got to give a shout out to our boy Adam Paith, or Payeth, Fluxel. He said, this is pretty much the only gaming shirt I wear on a regular basis. The only other one I own is a bowling shirt with the Thrill Kill logo on the back, but I also never wear it. And what's he wearing? His Married to the Game shirt, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa! Let's go! And we had the beautiful Mama Bread fan put up the picture of her on Facebook wearing her Married to the Game shirt.
Yeah.
I felt so bad last week when we announced the title of the show, and she's like, I wonder what this is about. And then it wasn't about her, and she's like, oh.
Oh, yeah, because her last name's Crow. Doggone it.
Yeah.
We love you, Mama
do.
Bread fan, so much. Can't wait to see you again. I don't know when I'll be down there, but next time I'm down there, catch up on some hugs. Tim.
Rate us on iTunes so we can have Gabe's video game character have his toes hanging out. Please make that happen.
Oh my gosh.
We got to update them mugs.
That's right.
No, we don't.
I'm pretty sure we do.
I'm finding my ninja booties. Well, let's get into some questions. All right.
We're going to start with Discord. Bad Gamer Elite.
Hey,
Our
Lem.
boy Lem. We just had a tornado this past weekend. Our power was knocked out from Saturday morning till late Sunday night, and technology was scarce, so we read and napped a ton. Some people just got it back yesterday, Tuesday. What was the longest you were without power when you should have had it, and how did you pass the time, especially when it got dark?
Oh gosh, 45 minutes.
Yeah, not
I
that
don't
long.
know. I don't remember a time in my adult life where we didn't have power for very long. Chris?
It was recently. It was like 12 hours or 11 hours or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Most of it you were sleeping though, right?
Yeah, a big chunk of it. And then when the part of it that happened when we were there, we just left the house and went and did things elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Tim?
When Lauren was pregnant with Piper, we flew up for a baby shower up in New Jersey. And this was in October. And a freak winter storm came by. It was right before Halloween. I'll never forget it.
El Nino.
And knocked out the power up in North Jersey for like a day and a half.
Wow.
And it was cold. There was snow on the ground.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Fortunately, because I have married into a firefighting community, and he also owns a hardware store, he had generators. So we had generators running, and we just had to plug in and kind of adapt to wherever we were. We would just plug something in, and so all we had to worry about was just making sure the generators had gas. So, but yeah, it was weird and crazy.
Yeah,
And
to
it was
feel
like
a little
ghost
apocalyptic,
town.
huh?
Yeah, it was like a ghost town. There were some power lines that were down, and it was sparking in the street. It was
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was super freaky. It was pretty cool. So
There you go.
good question, Lem, and
Yeah.
I'm glad you have your power back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Calmed Fury. I missed my connecting flight today, but was able to catch one 2 hours later. Have you missed a flight, and how long did you have to wait for the next one?
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, yes. And it's just awful.
Yeah.
Especially when you're traveling
Stressful.
with 20 people.
Oh, dude.
So because and you have to be there. But the last time I remember that was a kind of a bummer. We were supposed to be meeting our wives actually. We were doing this show it's not for the PGA, but it was like the Pebble Beach Pro-Am out in Monterey, California. Mm-hmm. And we got to take our wives on that trip, which was awesome. But we missed our connecting flight, and because our first flight was running late. And so luckily enough, we were just connecting in like San Jose or Fresno or someplace crazy. And so we just hopped in a van and drove it.
Oh,
instead
nice.
of taking a flight so we could get down there. Yeah. Ed, you miss a connecting flight?
We did, but it must not have been very bad because I don't even remember. It must have maybe an hour or two later, but nothing major. But But yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like you only miss a flight once, and it's just such a bad feeling. You just make sure you never. Sometimes you just can't help it because you've got a late connecting flight or something. But
Sure.
if it's
Right.
if it's on your end, you only miss a flight once.
Right, exactly.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, one of my buddies, when I was flying out to California, he was in the gate next to me. Mm-hmm. His name's Lester. He plays drums for Kelly Clarkson, and he was like, and so I'm listening to their flight kind of go off. It's like, everybody headed up to New York. Let's line up. They board the flight, and then they get to the last boarding group, which I think is 6 on American or whatever, or 9 or something like that. And they were like, "Oh, sorry, we just heard from the captain that this flight's canceled." And so they had to get everybody off the flight and then have to figure out something. So I went over to Lester. I'm like, "What happened?" And he's like, "Flight's canceled." I was like, "What are you going to do?" He was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Dang it." He was like, "And I think we have a morning show tomorrow in New York." He was like, "But it's part of the problem flying out of Nashville." It was like him and another guy that live here. And I was like, doggone it. It can be such a pain, especially when you have to be there. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the most nerve-wracking for me was we were coming back from Mexico. We land in Chicago, and as soon as I put my phone off airplane mode, boop, your flight was canceled. So, like, getting into your connecting and realizing that your flight was canceled, I'm like, oh, okay. I was pretty calm about it, but, like, we got out, and there was a gate agent there, and it took about 3 hours, and they had another flight for us. So it was fine. But it's so nerve-wracking being like, your flight's been your connecting flight to where you want to go home has been canceled.
Yeah.
And you're like, crap.
Yes.
Yeah.
So true. What were you going to say, Ed?
It doesn't bother me as much if it's a connecting flight because I know that it's on their end and they'll take care of it. And it's a hassle, but I know that, hey, as long as I get there on time, whatever happens there, they'll take care of. I don't have to pay to do anything. So
exactly.
As
long as I don't have to pay anything. I'm
Sometimes you got to wait overnight though. I've been stuck in Chicago overnight. Get me a hotel and go sleep in the hotel they book you last minute. Chris, you miss us connecting anywhere?
No, I've never missed any kind of flight, and I think I've only ever had to get a connecting flight maybe once.
Oh wow!
Yeah, coming out of DFW.
Yeah,
That's
you are
true,
in a metropolis.
In a hub.
That's right. You
got
are
that
the
direct
connecting
flight, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, you're where we connect.
Exactly. Fluxel, Adam Payeth. On a typical day, how long does it take you to fully wake up, and do you require coffee or a similar beverage?
5 to 10 minutes, and no, I don't require it. But it's nice on mornings like this when it's super early.
Yes. Yes.
Usually, a shower is what really gets me awake. Like if I know I have to be somewhere really early, let's say I have to be at the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning, then I'll wake up early and I'll wait to have my coffee till I get to the airport, but I'll take a nice shower and that usually gets me up and going. What say you, Christopher?
I mean, I'm probably about the same 5-10 minutes. Also, 9 times out of 10, I'm doing first thing is a shower in the morning.
Yep.
But I don't feel, there's a lot of mornings where I still feel groggy like an hour or so in. Yeah. Whether I've had coffee or not. Like when I stopped drinking coffee for a while and then came back to it, like that one little half a cup or whatever would like really wire me. Oh, but now since I'm kind of back to my drinking it rather frequently, it doesn't really impact me quite as much. So it's definitely helpful. And I know that it does help, but it doesn't seem to jolt me quite as much and get me like just off to the races right away like it did earlier on.
Yeah, as I've gotten older, I mean, I definitely feel like my brain wakes up faster than the rest of my body. My knees are just like, hold up. We've been straight for a long time, brother.
Let's ease into it.
Yeah. Let's not start doing jumping jacks just yet.
That's awesome.
What about you, Tim?
I get up pretty quickly. Like
you're a morning person.
I'm like, bam, up, and then I'm ready to go. I don't need coffee or anything. I'll just get up and go start.
There you go.
Usually coffee comes later.
Ed, did you already say?
It depends on what time I'm getting up. If it's like when we do the podcasts in the morning, like we've been recording now for like an hour, 28 minutes. I'll be awake in about 10 minutes probably.
Nice.
Shut up,
Well, you
Ed.
pull it off beautifully.
And yes, I do require coffee.
Yes.
You
Yes, that
you
goes
acquire
without
it for everything.
That's true. Like,
That's
it's not
right.
because
Yes.
I'm tired. It's just because I'm awake.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Burnaby Butter. When was the last time you thought, man, I'm old? Watch this. For me, Monday, pulled a back muscle and been using lidocaine patches for the past few days. Funny part is, I don't know how it happened. I think it was the workout at the gym or a hard sneeze. Who knows? Dude, I have so been there, and that's exactly the same thing. I've actually did that recently, like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I don't know how my back rib hurts, but it hurts. And I have no idea how it happened. And yes, I'm getting old.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, my job is pretty exertive, and so anytime I get hurt, maybe if there's not a reason, I still feel like there's a reason. But Toby did have that the other day. He was like, all I did was sleep. Like, how's my back hurting? I didn't do anything.
Yep.
I remember, what's his name? What's his name? Cat Williams has a bit about getting old. He said, you mess around and yawn too quick. And he said he feels like he can hurt
Oh,
himself.
that's funny. Yep.
Yeah, so I haven't had that recently. Chris, you hurt yourself recently at all? Felt old?
Not recently, but yeah, I feel old all the time.
Man.
Yeah.
I just feel like I can run out of energy way quicker
Yeah.
than I used to, and not like every day. It's not like every day at 6 I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm crashing or anything like that. But I feel like it used to be no big deal for me to stay up till 10, 11, or 11, 12, 1 if I wanted to or needed to for something. Whereas now, mostly because my body just wakes itself up early in the morning, whether I want it to or not. It's like I get that much time in me, and it's like my body's like, all right, you're going down now. I'm just like, all right, geez.
Oh, man.
I feel anytime it comes to anything pop culture, I'm starting to slip, and I'll get like the cover of an Entertainment Weekly and I'll be like, who the freak is this?
I know, exactly. I feel the same way. Like, even when watching the Oscars or something, like, what movie is this? Like, what's popular now? What's happening? Right. I have no idea what is going on here.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And it's like, I've heard of a Blake Lively, but I don't know what one is.
Now that you mentioned, like going that direction, Ed, because I didn't even think about that. There are so many things. Like, I was always, and still even to this day, like, people come to me for tech support.
Yeah.
And I answer these questions on this, that, or whatever. And I'm like, there's so many things nowadays where it's just like, I just don't know what this trend is. I don't know what that thing is. I've never heard of that app. And the part that lets me know that I'm old is like, I don't care. It's like, nah,
right.
I'm fine.
Yep.
I don't need another thing. And it's just like, back in the day, I would just eat that kinds of stuff up. If it's a new tech or a new gizmo or a new, social media platform, like, I was all about jumping in and being on board day one kind of thing.
Right.
Are you guys jumping on board with the whole Face App thing right now?
Nah.
With the getting old thing?
I had it on my phone already because it's been around a really long time, and I don't remember when the heck I downloaded it. So I looked at it, but I don't think I ever posted a picture or anything like that.
Yeah, I just tried it real quick because everybody and their grandmother's doing it now, and I'm like, it's such a trend, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Here's the next. Here's the next thing that's happening. It's so hard to keep up with everything when you're getting older. But thank God for technology. But here's the difference. For me, it's like, if you're getting older and you're not up to technology, you're definitely going to get lost and buried very fast.
Yeah.
And you see that with the older generation. Like, my in-laws, God bless them, they just don't understand it at all. But like, I'm one of those where I'm in technology, and as I'm getting older, I'm always wanting to make sure I'm on top of it. So I feel like I'll probably be a fairly responsible older person and get it when it comes time for me to go senile. So you know what I mean? It's like I think it'll definitely help a lot.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see. All right, we'll do one more question real quick. Beefmaster Sorta, have you been taught to ascertain that your pasta is completely cooked and ready for consumption? What is their process? Break it in half, throw it against the wall, the nibble test, the floaty test. How do you determine that your pasta is completely cooked?
I mean, if it says...
I just eat it.
Yeah.
If it says cook it for 10 minutes, I cook it for 10 minutes and that's it.
Right. Exactly. I do like depending on the pasta, but I'll pick it up and just kind of taste it. Lauren likes her pasta a little more al dente, so it's not super soft, a little crunchier, not fully cooked, so it gives it a little bit of crunch, not like it's raw or anything. But so I usually will just pick one up, and if it's close enough, then we're good. But yeah, there's all kinds of ways. Like the spaghetti, throw it against the wall. I remember that one. So
what does that mean? You throw it against the wall and then you cook it, or you cook it and then you throw it against the wall?
And if
if it sticks, it's ready, or if it slides down, I can't remember what that.
And then you scrape it off the wall and you eat it?
No, or you just leave it.
I've never heard. I thought he was just being silly. That's actually a thing.
No, that's a thing. You can throw a spaghetti noodle. And Beefmaster, please remind me.
I was thinking against the whole pot.
Right. No. To test it, you grab a noodle, you throw it up against the wall. I think if it sticks, it's supposed to be done.
Yeah,
but
that's right. If you're supposed to throw it against you throw it against the wall. If it sticks, then it's ready.
Okay. All right. Good. That's
so
what I'm
weird.
making sure.
You just do it with one noodle. Yeah, you don't take the whole pot.
Right. You don't. Yeah, you don't get the colander, take it all out, and then just throw it against the wall.
And then,
that's not how that works.
Then you recook it. Like, okay, that was 13 minutes. That's what I do it for.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm like, I want to make sure it's not gummy, but if it is, sorry, I already drained the water.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's exactly. Yeah, that's it. We have some more questions. I will hold these till next week because I know some of us got to get going. But thank you everybody for all the questions, and we will get back to some of these because some of these are good.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys, what do you feel like is the best value in gaming? Where do you feel like you get your best value in gaming, Chris McCracken?
I mean, I think it'd be hard to put it past Game Pass, but I do think even though they haven't had the best this past year anyways offerings, I do think Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus are still really good deals as well.
What'd you think, Edward? Best value in gaming?
Yeah, if it's not Game Pass, for me, it's just been, personally for me, it's been buying Overwatch.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
There you go.
There you go. What say you, Timothy?
Yeah, PlayStation Plus for me, just because I love having the option every month. It may not be a game that I want to play, but at least I have the option to download it and it's free. So PlayStation Plus is definitely where I enjoy it.
There you go. I was thinking, I didn't know if the consoles as a whole was the best value or Steam. I feel like Steam
Yeah, there you go.
puts junk on discount so quick.
Right?
You're like, oh, snap. Well, this would be $60 if I had to go get it here. And y'all going to sell it to me for $40? Now, I did have to put the computer together to play it.
Right.
So that's always the downside. But let us know what you guys think the best value in gaming are. You guys' questions, answers were awesome. Obviously, Games Pass is really hard to beat, especially now that they're putting their exclusives on there. So let us know. We'll talk about it next week. I am Gabe Patillo.
Yes, you are.
That, from all the way across the pond,
Yes, sir.
is Chip Cheerio.
Chip Cheerio.
Tim Router.
Lovely, thank you.
That is Ed Placencia. That's Chris McCracken.
What in the world?
And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Peace!